Blessed are you who bear the light in unbearable times. Who bear witness to its persistence when everything seems in shadow. Your heart a chapel, an altar where in the deepest night can be seen the fire that shines forth in you. In unaccountable faith, in stubborn hope, in love that illumines every broken thing it finds.
Good morning, everybody. I'd love to invite us to rise in body or spirit and join our voices in singing our opening hymn. It is simply music. And Sarah, are you going to help us, or are we just going to we're just going to go into it here? All right.
So if you want to listen one time through while the choir and I sing it, you're most welcome. If you want to jump in right away and see what happens, feel free. We are going to a place where music falls and fills up everything. And though it might be a long time, I know it's gonna be alright, 'cause we've already started to sing. And we'll repeat it. We are going to a place where music falls and fills up everything. And though it might be a long time, I know it's gonna be alright, 'cause we've already started to sing. Let's go one more time. And though it might be a long time, I know it's gonna be alright, 'cause we've already started to sing.
We invite you to remain risen as we light our chalice. I welcome up Eliza Andrus, who's going to help us light it. And as the flame is lit that connects us to Unitarian Universalist communities around the world, we'll share in our words of covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is all. This is our great covenant. To dwell together in truth, to speak truth in love, and to help one another. You can have a seat. And in just a moment, right now, I can welcome up our young folks, any kids or those young at heart who want to be close for our Wonder Box. Each week, we have something in our Wonder Box to help us connect to our theme for the day. As our kids get settled up here, I'm excited. I'm going to get to go off to faith formation classes with you today, as will a friend of mine who's visiting today. This is my friend Dr. Matthew Henry over here. I'm going to embarrass him in front of everybody. Matthew is the first friend I made at Andover Newton Theological School, where Reverend Heather and I attended together. Matthew's joining our Crossing Paths / Neighboring Faiths group today to help us wrap up our unit on Christianity. And he'll be back on March 24th in the pulpit with me, because he's also like a poet and New Testament Bible, Hebrew Bible scholar. I'm tired. We're going to have him back up. It's going to be great. I have another guest up here. I believe Tim is doing our Wonder Box today.
I am, and thank you so much, Reverend Joe. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Everybody doing okay? All right. Well, this is good. I'm a little bit nervous because I've never done the Wonder Box before. And as some of you know, I really like music, and I'm pretty comfortable making music, but I'm not as good at speaking. So if I make some mistakes or something, is it okay? Okay. Oh, thank you. All right. So, all right. Thank you, Reverend Joe. So our theme this month is trees, and I'm wondering, I have something in the Wonder Box up here, and I'm wondering if anybody can think of anything that might connect music and trees. Does anybody have a guess what might be in the Wonder Box? What do you think? Wind chimes. I love that. That would have been a good one, because wind chimes often hang in trees and the wind blows them. But it's not wind chimes. What do you think? The trees could be a musical instrument when the wind blows the leaves in the trees, but it's not a tree. What do you think? The what? The tree song? Well, there's not a song in there either, but hold on to that thought, because something like that is coming. What do you think might be in the box? A music box that looks like a tree. I wish I had one of those, but I don't. We have one more over here. What do you think? The roots of a tree. That would be wonderful. Well, hold on to that thought, because roots are going to come into play in just a moment, too. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up the box here. Would anybody like to volunteer to open the box? Somebody who maybe hasn't done it recently? Would you like to try it? All right, come on up. So it does kind of look like a guitar. Thank you very much. It does kind of look like a guitar, but it doesn't have enough strings. Does anybody know another instrument that this might be? What do you think? It's a ukulele. Yes, it is. And I think, ukuleles are usually made out of wood, and the wood comes from trees. And it's a wonderful way that we can turn trees into music. And so this one, it kind of makes a little sound. But it's not very practical as an instrument, so I'm actually going to just reach right back here. Oh, look. Ooh, I have another ukulele. It's a little bit bigger. This one wouldn't fit in the Wonder Box, so I want to thank Susan Barrett for finding this tiny little ukulele that does fit in the music box. And today, I'm actually going to offer another opportunity for all of you to join our children's choir. And we're going to have a couple of performances, or we're going to have a couple of rehearsals and then a performance coming up at the end of the month. And Amy Quigley has generously offered to help me again. So Amy and I will be leading some rehearsals, and we will be rehearsing after church the next 2 Sundays on March 17th and March 24th. And then we will be performing during the service on March 31st, on Easter weekend, Easter Sunday. And we have and we'll be rehearsing that day before the service, probably about 9:45. These are very short rehearsals. If you come to church, it's not going to take long to run through the song a few times right after the service. So I hope, even if I know you'll have busy days, but we would love to have as many voices as possible. And the song that we're going to sing, I'm just going to give you a little taste of it. It's called "My Roots Go Down," and that really fits in with our theme of trees, because trees have what? Roots. Very good. And can you just hold, or actually I can put it on here. Or you can just hold it, because I'm just going to do this really quickly. And I actually hold it up here. And the song goes like this. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. And that's not the whole song because we don't want to give it all away, but that's what we're going to be singing. And I hope that all of you can join us for that. Next Sunday after church, for the next 2 weeks after church for rehearsals, and then for our performance on Easter Sunday, March 31st. And thank you, Reverend Joe, for your help. And thank all of you, and I believe we're going to
Sing you off to your classes. All children are welcome in our faith formation classes or in the nursery or to stay here.
Good morning. My name is Kirsten Sokol. My pronouns are she and her, and I have been a member of this congregation since 1992. And this morning I've been asked to tell you a little bit about my interpretation and understanding of stewardship in this community and others. As a single mother and teacher, I was looking for a Unitarian Universalist church 32 years ago, something like that. A place where I could find a stimulating, like-minded community for me and my 3-year-old daughter. After visiting several congregations, I arrived here on a cloudless, frigid January morning. The sun was pouring through the windows into the serene and welcoming sanctuary, sun cued on right now, and welcoming sanctuary caressing my cheek, and I knew I had found my spiritual home. At coffee hour one day, I learned that book club would be talking about Gloria Steinem's new book, which I had just completed, at their next meeting. I was encouraged to attend. I corralled one of my students to babysit and was welcomed with open arms, lots of good food, and wine. The discussion with the adults was also invigorating. From then on, the first Friday of the month has been a standing date in my life, another home away from home, like this church. The book club members were the welcoming stewards to the church community, and I was the passenger needing to be welcomed and embraced. This past December at the memorial service for Michael Lee, one of the founders of book club, along with Loretta, and also one of the gracious stewards that first night I attended, I related an anecdote about book club and Michael that I was asked to share today. Michael, as many of you know, enjoyed his wine, mostly red, and had a very discerning palate, a true oneophile. One Friday night, about 20 years ago, I was hosting the book club at my home, a small cape in Natick. That afternoon, I had run to Trader Joe's after school to get wine and food for the meeting. On a particularly tight budget at that time, I noticed Charles Shaw wine, which I had heard was quite good, as well as quite cheap. $2 chuck. So I got a variety of the wines, though a bit heavy on the Cabernet Sauvignon. At home, I decanted the cab to allow it to breathe, as Michael had taught me. Later in the evening, as Michael was pouring another glass from the decanter, he remarked how much he was enjoying the red. He said it had a depth and a nose he really liked. He asked to know the brand. And a little sheepishly, I revealed the bottle. Michael was somewhat taken aback, but it didn't stop him from continuing to imbibe. A few weeks later, we ran into one another at Trader Joe's. There was a case of wine in his basket. All of it was Chucky Shaw's. I decided if it was good enough for Michael Lee, I was going to get some more too. Over the years, I have been a steward and a passenger in this community. Like most of you, I taught RE classes, ushered and hosted coffee hour. My daughter was dedicated here one Mother's Day. I am now the communication liaison for the book club, following in the able footsteps of Brian Frechette and Joan Hunter Brody. I feel that these roles are not static, but fluid as times and needs change. We can also be both passenger and steward simultaneously. When I was volunteering my time in RE classes, I was also offered, very respectfully, scholarship funds to be able to attend the annual Brewster retreats. I miss those. When I participated in Cakes for the Queen of Heaven classes and my covenant group today, I was and am both a steward and a passenger. Our congregation, the beloved community, is a shared ministry. We are all stewards in large and small ways. We can all think about how we're able to be stewards to sustain the UUAC Sherburne now and in the future, and to be able to welcome and support the passengers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kirsten, for your words and also for that memory of Michael. Friends, let us take a breath. And let me invite us here in this time, in this extra early hour of Sunday morning, as the sun streams through the windows and a new day of life awaits, here in this time of stillness and prayer and meditation. We begin this Sunday with our prayer hymn, "It Is What We Need Is Here." You can listen or sing along. The words are on our screen for us. Every week we walk across our threshold into this place of passengers and stewards, and we ask one another to hold one another through life with our loved ones in this world that we share, and with the blessings and the graces that we do not have to earn in order to receive. We begin with our prayers for loved ones today. This from Andrea Whitman for her friend Ginny on the passing of her mom. And friends, here in this space of quiet and stillness, I invite us to say the names of those who are holding in our hearts today. For all these names, we light a candle. As you look out our windows, as I often invite us to do, to these clear windows that remind us that we seek not sanctuary from the world, but for the world. And so our prayers for the world that we live in, that we share together, for all those who celebrate Ramadan, which begins tonight at sundown. And this from our own Barb Warby, who, along with myself and many of us, live in Holliston. She writes, "For beloved community, let us pray for all of our LGBTQ siblings as legislation continues to challenge the right to exist." And she invites us to consider the recently adopted flag policy in our town of Holliston, which has now removed the ability to fly a flag at Town Hall even though it has been done during Pride Month for the last 3 years, and I can attest because I've been there. If you want to know more, Natasha, Marcord, or Barb, I know Barb is here, so talk to Barb. For all these and for others, we light a candle. And we have Thanksgivings, everybody. Tomorrow, our own Barbie Breer has a happy birthday. Barbie, happy birthday. This from Matt Andrus for Joshua's 13th birthday. Who remembers turning 13? A big teenager. It was a day full of skiing and Legos and topped off by visits to Five Guys and a carrot cake. I mean, that's a lot of calories. That's incredible. Happy birthday, Joshua. Gratitude for last night's fantastic bingo extravaganza, of which I still have my happy face tattoo. And for Janet Barnett, who won a giant tub of cheese balls. They're downstairs. And our gratitude for the flowers given by Cab Rabinowitz for her friends Lou Jean and Joanne and her beloved aunt Elizabeth. Thank you for the flowers today, Cab. For all these, we light a candle. Friends, let us pray together. Dear Spirit of life and love that blooms beneath us and before us and above us and around us, here in the emerging light of longer days and still dark mornings. We are here in this world, each of us passengers on the wings of all those who have come before, on the wings of the people that we love, on the wings of so much that is happening in the world that takes us to great heights and also takes us to great depths sometimes when we pay attention to the ache that we see on the news and in our lives. And so it is, as Kirsten has reminded us, that we need stewards to help us on our way, do we not? People who can come alongside us with a fresh tray and say to us, would you like sparkling or still? Would you like love or grace? Would you like patience with those bag of pretzels? And we say, yes. I say yes to all. We say yes to one another. We say yes to life here on this airline of living. Let us be held together in several moments of stillness, you and I. We are gifted today with a lot of awesome music. We're about to hear another wonderful piece. But here in between, every week, as those of us who've been around our community for a while know, we give 100% of our offering away every week to a different organization. And we do this, we're able to do this because of your generosity, particularly through your pledges. I know you've heard Karen Barton and Kirsten talk about that, so thank you for your generosity with that. I am the son of Jackie, the husband to Karen, and the dad to Ella, all women, such important women in my life. And on Friday was International Women's Day. And this organization in particular is striving to imagine a gender-equal world. It wants to celebrate women's achievement, raise awareness about discrimination, and take action to drive gender parity. I invite us for you to be as generous as you can. Our welcome team will come by with a plate if you'd like to make a contribution that way, and we also have our QR codes up on the screen. Thank you. Choir again. They just sat down too. Man, oh man. As I remind us when I am privileged to share this time with you on Sundays, here is our world. Beautiful and terrible things will always happen. Our work is to keep our hearts tender and our eyes soft and our words true. This is what you and I strive to be about. We know there's no answer but to love one another. We bear witness against destruction. And we gather here in community to practice being the people that we say we want to be. We cannot do everything, but we can do something, and that something is never nothing. So as Leonard Cohen reminds us, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything and all of us. Let us say together, that is how the light gets in. Good morning. One morning a week or so ago, I was rushing from the kitchen door to my Subaru on the driveway. I was rushing because I hate to be late. I can't remember what I was rushing for. Do you do that? Like you can't, like you're rushing, it felt so important at the time, but then you're like 3 days later, like, what was I in a hurry for? Anyway, I plopped into my Subaru and I put my smoothie in the coffee cup holder that doesn't quite fit, so it's precarious. I never bring the lid because I'm rushing because I forgot to put the lid on. There have been a couple experiences before. And I reach across the passenger seat to plug in my cord, to plug in my phone, right? Because God forbid you don't have your phone plugged in. And I noticed, because the way our yard is, the yard is like equal to the passenger window of my car, okay? Because it sort of slopes up from the street. And I noticed the first green shoots of the bulbs that Karen had planted in the fall. Now, unlike me, she likes things more spontaneous. Let's call them whimsical, which is why I noticed the green shoots were like random locations around the yard. And I want you to imagine with me, they're like little cowlicks of life in a sea of brown. I'm not actually sure what the bulbs will become. I actually don't know if she knows either. It could be tulips, it could be daffodils. She could have planted crabgrass bulbs as far as I know. But at the moment, it didn't really matter to me. It just feels good, you guys, to see something that we put faith in come into being. Do you know what I mean? A colleague of mine, a good friend, Larry Piers, calls this kind of thing, I love this word, I'm going to commend it to you, faithing. Faithing. He says we live in a world with so much doom scrolling and despair that we need practices of faithing that are big and that are small, that are going to build our capacity for trust, for resilience, for hope, to help remind ourselves what we say we believe in. I love that, faithing. So perhaps this is why, and honestly, this never happens to me. For some reason, later that day, this is like last Wednesday, okay? Literally without any prompting, I heard in the background of my mind, my busy mind, my busy life, the song the choir just sang. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Sing. Yonder come day, oh my soul. We got to try again. I'm going to start from the top because I'm not good at this because I'm not a music director. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Sun is rising in my soul. Now listen. The hymn is not even on my Spotify list. I don't even have a hymn Spotify list. I know it makes me like an imposter minister almost. But honestly, I had no context for this song to come out of anywhere for me. But it came anyway, kind of like those green shoots, these cowlicks of life. Faithing into my life, maybe when I needed it most. Maybe when we need it most. And before I tell us why, I need to offer some history first. Because I needed to learn about this song that just sort of came out of nowhere for me. Some of you may know, but I bet many of you don't, just like me, know that the song comes from the Gula culture of the southern Sea Islands. Is this news? Gula are African American people who live in the low country of South Carolina and Georgia, and they are known for preserving their African linguistic and cultural heritage. The song, Yonder Come Day, yonder, by the way, means long, far off. It's among a catalog of watch night songs. Again, this is new information for me. It's a watch night as a reference to December 31st, 1862, when enslaved and free African Americans gathered, many in secret, to sing songs and ring in the new year as they awaited news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. Lincoln proclaimed it in September, but it wasn't going to start until January 1st, 1863. So they gathered to sing these songs. It says a lot about the education that I received and the white culture that we live in, that I did not learn about this until recently, doesn't it? So in this context, what I want us to know is that this song actually means a lot more than just, oh great, it's another day. Right? Like it means something more than that when we hear the context. Instead, this song is actually, it's a song of resistance. It's a hymn of persistence. Sarah, it's even an anthem of insistence, choir, to stay awake for the struggles that need our attention. Like, imagine, everybody, they're singing this song through the dark of night, and they don't know how long they're going to have to wait. They don't know how far off daylight savings time is. They say, yonder come day. They say a day is a breaking. What I want us to understand is that this is not a weather forecast. It's a faith forecast. Do you get the difference? Are you with me? It says to us in the night, whatever the night, keep faithing. Keep faithing for the light, for the freedom, for the repair, for the emancipation, for the healing, for the hope. Kirsten, for the steward, for the help. Oh, my soul. Now, it's interesting, isn't it, that this song rang in my ears like 10 days ago. And sometimes I wonder, I know you have wondered with me, from where and how does the Holy speak? From where and how do the songs come? From where do the messages that will help me come back to life come? I just think it's interesting this song came back to me 10 days ago. To go back a few sermons ago, I talked about I was sitting in the back porch, the cardinal vigil, remember? You guys have sent me the most amazing pictures of cardinals coming. Can I tell you, thank you. You've faithed me when you do that. Can I tell you that yesterday morning, Susan Roush, where are you? After you texted me a photo of your cardinal, and you must have said, go see Nathan. Because then, literally a half an hour later, it showed up there at my bird feeder. So I've got the cardinal vigil, I've got the song, I've got this song. Why am I hearing this song now? Why does God speak through my life and into my life with this song now? I think I've got some reasons. In no particular order, here they are. Reason number one, that I needed this song, that I heard this song. I am exhausted and scared of the upcoming political season that I guess now is no longer upcoming, is it? You guys, my amygdala is fried. I'm scared of the upcoming and the now happening flag waving, yelling, division, the high stakes, the spin, the horse race media analysis, the false equivalency made between the candidates, the ageism, the xenophobia, the division. I'm tired of the conversations I'm going to have to avoid with my family. I'm just so scared and tired of it all. Are you? But then along comes this song, right? And it's winding through time from these people that I can barely imagine, whose struggle with something I can barely imagine. And it says, now listen, Nathan. Stay awake. We need active citizens now. No time for discouragement. Take the yonder view. Take the long view, Nathan. It's not up to you to complete the work. You just got to be a part of the work. That's why I'm hearing this song. Another reason is that we as a community and as a congregation remain in a place of grieving for lost beloveds. And I thought to myself when I was thinking about this sermon, am I talking about this too much in worship? And then I'm like, but Nathan, are you still feeling it? And then I said to myself, and there's a good chance that everybody else is. That's why I love to hear about those Watch Night festivals. Like, they weren't like solo parties, were they? They were not sung solos. They were choirs, they were gatherings, they were harmonies, they were congregations. You guys, we sit by each other. We lean on each other. We put our arm around each other. We say, yonder come day, like Gage, yonder come day, Kathleen, Adrian, Alex, yonder come day, like it's going to be like, just come on in, like just come on in. Lean on each other. The sun is going to break. We grieve because we love because we live, and to live we must depend on each other. We are all in need of stewards. Kirsten, I just love that. Thank you for this. I think that's why I keep hearing the song. Last Wednesday, I was getting ready for Jeff's service. Nathan, yonder come day. And there's a third reason. There's a final reason. I mean, there's like 15,000 reasons I hear this song, but I think a third reason is so much in the world is crying out for our attention. Isn't there? Like, there's just so much that cries out for our attention. There's, the wars in Ukraine and in Gaza. There's the migrant crisis. Did we actually hear last week when Reverend Joe mentioned that there are a bunch that our Unitarian Universalist Association's headquarters in Boston is now open? It's a shelter for immigrant families? That's not, that's good, but it's not good that needs to happen. There's just so much in the world. And I hear all these things, just like you, and I read the news, right? And I feel like completely in the night. I feel like dawn is so far off. I feel overwhelmed by complexities and nuance, and my heart is breaking all by the suffering, but then I'm like, I can only feel so much. Can you only feel so much? And so that's why we need community, especially now. Because paying attention to the moment we are in together, actually paying attention, is one of our primary religious tasks as a people. I know myself. If I'm left to my own devices, you guys, it's Netflix all the time. I'm going to hit the snooze button. I'm going to hit the do not disturb on my phone. I know myself. I'll write a good sermon, then I've done my part. I'm good. But I haven't, and I'm not. We're not. Some of us have capacity, some of us don't. That's why we are on this airship together. Because we need each other to go, yonder come day. If you have ways that we as a community can respond to all the things that you see in the world, I have a request for you. These pews are not built to conspire well with each other. They're meant to look at me, but I want you to use them to conspire. Find out what you're passionate about. Barb talked about the flags in Holliston. And help the rest of us yonder come day. Because honestly, Barb, when you do that, you faith me. Yeah? I want us to brainstorm. I want us to follow our passion. I want us to figure out the thing that we think we can do, and I want us to do it. And I want you to invite the rest of us along with you. I want us to pay attention to our boundaries and be able to say no, but then I want us to remember that showing up into your life is actually one of your most important tasks as a human being. Why? Because living your life matters. We are not just living through the night, you guys. We are also agents of the dawn. I mean, damn, how about that? Really? We're not at mercy to the clock. Remember, we're not weather forecasters. We are faith forecasters. So, I've gone off script. And I think it's because, I'm trying to figure out this moment that we're in together, here after this time of grieving and here living in this world with so much to hold on to and so much to be called forth in. I just think that I needed some faithing. I think I need that. Do you need that? So I just want to, wherever the songs come from, and I don't care if you use the word God, Allah, Spirit, love, source of life, honestly, the words you use to describe your experience matter much less than that you have an experience. I just want to thank whatever it is, the giver of life, the giver of songs, for the ways that the songs beckon us to get off the sidelines and enter onto the field to try and make sense of some things, to remind us how we live matters, to remind us that we had better dare and have the courage to pay attention. It's an extraordinary privilege you and I have to live in this moment, but we need each other. So, are we going to sing? That didn't sound very enthusiastic. Literally, the exam is now. It begins now. And Sarah, you're going to help us clap on the right beat, because that's not my gift to the world. Right? So we're going to rise in body or spirit. We're going to join. It's very simple. The lyrics are always there. And remember, they have been sung through time for moments and days like today. Let us say together our call to ministry. We go forth into the world in peace to act with works of love, to affirm each person's dignity, and to cherish the living earth. We are stewards on this airship of life, and we are agents of dawn. We are awake. We are paying attention. We are alive. Let us live into it. I invite us to head on coffee hour. I hear there are donuts. I hear there are people. And there's coffee. A reminder, if you have, we'd love your ideas about faith formation. And to jot them right down here on the table as you head out to say good morning to me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Love to you.